So this is sort of just a semi-pointless kind of rant slash ramble video slash just shooting the shit type thing. So for those of you who have something better to do with your time, go, feel free. Even just minimize this or something. Playing probably World of Warcraft, maybe doing dailies on my shaman or something. Trying to get my item level boosted a bit or something, I don't know. Just a little whatever video. I want to engage with the community more. Twitter previously was always for when you upload a video through YouTube, there's an option for it to automatically tweet that video for you. And I was using that so people could follow my Twitter and also get notified when I upload, because the sub feed was acting a bit strange, and I think maybe still is for some people. But YouTube got rid of that as a thing late January, I think. So I've had to manually do all of this. And it's like, well, while I'm there, you know, I try to send out a couple tweets that aren't just an upload and just try to engage a little bit. So I figured I would do the same thing on YouTube, where I was doing the community votes thing, trying to figure out who's watching what and why, and generally how people are feeling about stuff. And I'm gonna also do some channel update videos periodically as well, just to keep people in the loop and generally just hang out with folks. Ordinarily, I'd be doing this through a stream, and I'd like to stream. I would love to stream. I used to stream. Last year. I was in Germany for 3 months, and I was streaming from there on the Krugdutsky channel, which caused a lot of confusion because nobody knew who Krugdutsky was, because he's an obscure moniker that I took from XCOM Terror from the Deep way back in the day. It was just some randomly generated soldier name that I thought was really cool. It's like, it's Krugdutsky. Yeah, that's a pretty rad name, but nobody watched that video. Nobody watched that series. That was so long ago. So it's just this really pixelated face with some weird name. It's like, what is this? Who is this? Why is this? And yeah, it confused people. The idea was that I would stream and upload on Krugdutsky so people didn't think that I just left YouTube completely. I uploaded a video explaining that I was in Germany for 3 months and that videos would stop, and I'll be streaming on this Twitch for the few months, and then when I come back, I'll just start it right back up. You know, because when you're following a channel, maybe you don't check every day, but you check periodically to see what they're up to. When you just start seeing a bunch of Twitch stream things, it's like, oh, well, okay, I guess they're not doing YouTube anymore, unsubscribe. And I didn't want that to happen, so I tried to keep it separate the best I could. But it still caused a little bit of confusion. Some patrons had dropped because they weren't liking the streams, and it is what it is. But I still miss streaming. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'd like to do it again. And I got people asking me to do it, but I really genuinely, seriously cannot do it. My internet here, it's awful. I am in Central Kentucky, Western Kentucky, I don't know. I'm outside Louisville, and it's not good. The internet out here where I am is pretty much 20 down, 1 up is what they advertise, but obviously you don't get what they advertise. So what I get is more like about 16 down and 600 kilobit per second up, which I've tried to do some quality stuff with that. Maybe like through OBS, heavily compressing the video if it's a really calm, chill game with not a whole lot of fast movement, but even then it's still really iffy and would be like 480 resolution at 15 frames per second, and I don't know if that'd be any enjoyment to watch at all whatsoever, but it's getting to the point where I kind of want to just go for it anyway, because I intend on going back to Germany soon, potentially to stay, which, as you can imagine, is quite an enormous expense moving, especially overseas. So trying to save up for that and get things going for that, and just a periodic poop stream might be kind of okay to perhaps pull some people in, and maybe we can get a fundraiser or something going to help me out with this. But that's my big offline plan this year, is going back to Germany and potentially staying. Other than that, Metro Exodus, There's a bit of drama with Metro Exodus, and it just came out. I'm actually downloading it right now because I want to do a series on it. I did Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, which were pretty good games. The story's really bizarre, but they're good games overall. Very atmospheric and works really well for Stalker, because I'm doing Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl right now. Or no, Shadow of Chernobyl. And when I finish that, I intend to do Call of Pripyat. And Stalker goes fairly well with Metro, both in that they're Russian-themed, first-person survival, or very tense atmospheric games, so they go pretty well together, and I'd like to do that. But the Epic Store thing it's a real problem. It doesn't have preloading, and the game's 50 gigs, and their servers are pretty slow, so I'm downloading this at 200 kilobytes per second. Thankfully, it's not 200 kilobit, but 200 kilobytes, it's not much better. It's going to be a while to download this. I was hoping I could record it tonight, but I will not be able to, so hopefully I can record it tomorrow night and get some up for Sunday. Would be kind of cool. And then we'll see what people think about that. I'd like to do a series. I might do a series on it regardless, but I anticipate most people won't be watching it because it's not RimWorld. Which brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about, and that's RimWorld in general. RimWorld's one of those games that I've been following it for a very, very long time, since like Alpha 3 or 4. I've been following it for a couple of years. I probably have well over 1,000 hours in it. Steam, I think, says that I just have a few hundred, but I was playing the game a lot through it was like a standalone version from Sendowl that you were emailed back then when you bought the game. And I did a lot of stuff with it. So I probably have over 1,000 hours, probably close to 1,100 or so. I'm generally getting tired of the game, getting bored of it. Really dreading to play, actually, honestly. But a lot of people found me through RimWorld, and they always want more RimWorld, but it's like, I've done so much of it, though. And it wasn't so bad when it was still in development, because every update was bringing really cool new things, and it was like a whole new game every time. But then the game's released, and since release it updated once, and didn't really do anything with that update. So it's like, there's still issues with the game. So it's a bit like Kenshi for me, where it was going, everything's cool and fine, it's early access, yeah, sure. There's a bug there, but I'll forgive it. Oh, wait, you're releasing it next week. Oh, okay, fine. And then you're playing the release version, and it's still buggy and generally lacking. And that's sort of the feeling that I have with RimWorld, where it's like, it doesn't feel done to me. There's still issues. The colonists are still really stupid. There's certain things that you can't control. I shouldn't have to mod the game to make it work. Thankfully, there is a really good modding community, and that keeps things interesting. But my current series with the modded stuff, even that I'm getting a bit bored of. I'm hoping I can do the Rim Atomic stuff, get that finished up, and then maybe take a little more look at the really crazy mortars and the androids mod, and then probably call it quits at some point. I don't think I'll be doing that for very much longer. I'm not enjoying the game, and I'm a little afraid of what'll happen when I stop playing RimWorld, because so many people are there just for RimWorld. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. It's difficult. It's tough. It's a thing that you go through as a creator sometimes, where you get a community for a certain game, and it really takes off, but you're a variety games channel, so you can't just do that game. You need to do other stuff, and you want to do other stuff, because there's a lot of really good games out there. But so many people will subscribe for the game and not really subscribe for you. So it's tough. I think I've probably got about 1,000 or so people who are genuine, actual, it sounds a bit rude, but genuine, actual subscribers who really count and matter to me a lot, because you guys are watching me for anything. You watch me for me, which I think that's fantastic. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully people sort of understand that RimWorld's not super duper fantastic, awesome game of the year, and recognize that it does have its flaws, and could see how somebody could get a little bit tired of it after playing it for 1,000+ hours. But on the other hand, it's like, if I do lose a bunch of people who are upset that I stopped playing RimWorld, then they were probably only just watching RimWorld and don't, it sounds mean again, but it really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. And they would be leaving when I stopped playing RimWorld anyway, so it's like, you know, lose them now or lose them later doesn't really matter. But I am a variety games channel, and there's a lot of other really cool games out there that I want to play, and forcing myself to play RimWorld and keep that going is it's really tiring, really taxing, and I can't keep up with that for much longer. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to just stop the series suddenly. Uploads really certainly did slow down for a while because I wasn't motivated to record it. I got so sucked into Resident Evil 2. Which, speaking of which, I also want to, there was a Patreon vote that I did a while back. And the Patreon vote turned into a tie between Atom RPG and Mutant Year Zero. So at some point I need to play one of those, probably Mutant Year Zero. Originally it was going to be Atom RPG, but I did a recording session of it and I wasn't feeling it. It was some mix of just the general slow gameplay, having to narrate the story, the combat being a little repetitive, and just, I don't know, you add over the combat. It's nothing that you really show because, it's, you know, I punch the rat in the face and it dies. The end. It wasn't doing it for me. So I might check out Mutant Year Zero, which I've started a new game on a slightly easier difficulty. I think I'm on just normal. But things still hurt me for half my health. I got back up to where I left off on the quick look, and things are still pretty ouchy, so it might just be a general ouchy beginning of the game. I'm interested to see what it brings later on. So we'll see about that. Other things to talk about. I guess Patreon, there's a lot of drama with Patreon. Again, there's always Patreon drama nowadays because they think they're something that they're not, and it's hilarious. And I don't really want to get into it, but what they do is so utterly simple, and to think that they've got some business model and agenda to accomplish is just absurd to me. But generally keeping an eye out for a Patreon alternative. So if anybody knows of what I can do for that, let me know. Because I got people who have left Patreon and they drop their pledge because they don't want to be on Patreon. And I've got other people who would gladly jump the Patreon ship to follow me elsewhere because I'm the only one that's still on Patreon that they're pledged to. My original thought was PayPal, and I've had a PayPal thing going for a while. Both closetyeti@gmail.com and yetidonate@gmail.com get to me through PayPal. But it's not really convenient for monthly things. And I've been trying to figure out how to do a monthly thing so people can just monthly automatically send money. Like with Patreon, basically. But I can't find a way to do that. There's a thing that I can do for making a button, and people can kind of do a subscription thing through that. But the button spits out HTML code that I would need to embed on a website that I don't have. So if anybody out there is PayPal savvy, please let me know if there's anything that I can do for that. Just automatic monthly things, accepting that, and allowing people to easily do that. Because I can't figure it out. The interface of PayPal is a little confusing to me anyways, so it could be I'm just missing it, but I don't know. Patreon's a cool thing. I like it, but yeah, the company's a bit, the CEO said that they're not profitable, and it generally just seems like their outlook is pretty grim. Maybe they come back from it, I don't know, but good to keep an option out there. Something that isn't them, just in case. At least with PayPal, it's major enough that if PayPal were to go away, it'd be like Amazon servers going away. So much of the internet goes through Amazon servers that if they were to just explode, so much would be destroyed. So they're a little bit like too big to fall. And I think PayPal is sort of that same deal. So I think they're a pretty safe one to go for. But the more alternatives, the better. So if anybody knows of also a Patreon alternative, let me know. I think that'll do it. I think this has gone on long enough. Just sort of a waste of like 10 to 12 minutes of people's time. I don't know. Not a lot of purposes video, just general ranting, rambling. Letting people know what I think, what I have planned, what's going on. Checking in with you guys, seeing who all's out there watching, what you're interested in, and how you're doing. That sort of thing.